Palace won 2 major trophies as well. But I think when Liverpool come calling, especially the present Liverpool side, it's very, very difficult for a player to say no. If there's club-to-club agreement between Palace and Liverpool, then Liverpool would start talking to his intermediaries and his representatives about personal terms, but we have not got there yet. They need to agree a deal with Palace first.
OK, we're going to talk Palace a little bit later on, and that ruling by CAS and what it might mean for transfers and others as well. Going back to Liverpool, though, chasing Isak, as I say, should they be spending more time bringing in a centre-back rather than a striker?
I think if you ask some Liverpool fans, I was at the game on Sunday, there is a feeling that they really need some more strength and depth in that centre-back area. If you look at their bench on Sunday, there weren't any centre-backs on the bench, and Arne Slot was asked about signing a defender on Friday ahead of the game, and he said that the likes of Endo and Andy Robertson could fit in there if required. They've sold Jarrod Quansah to Bayer Leverkusen, a really good fee they got for Jarrod Quansah. But it means that right now they've got the 2 centre-backs, Virgil van Dijk and Ibrahim Konate. Konate's contract expires at the end of this season, and they have a lack of options there right now. Joe Gomez seems to be injured a lot at the moment. It's a real concern for Joe Gomez. So you can understand why they need to sign a centre-back. They also understand why they need to sign an attacking player as well, because, yes, they've been really aggressive in terms of what they've gone after in this transfer window. But actually, they're one short on where they were last season with the players they brought in, the players have departed. So you can understand why. But I think the centre-back is a priority, because if they don't sign an attacking player, they still have the likes of Enga Moa, the 16-year-old on the left-hand side, Harvey Elliott, Ben Doak as well, and they've got options there if required. I think the centre-back area is one they really need to address. If anything happens to Virgil van Dijk or Konate, I think they're in real trouble.
And we saw what happened when they lost Virgil van Dijk a couple of seasons ago. Carve.
One other line to bring you about centre-backs and Liverpool. This is from Sky Italy, who've been reporting that Liverpool are very interested in signing possibly the best young centre-back in Europe at the moment. He plays for Parma. He's 18 years old. He's called Giovanni Leone. He's valued at 30 million euros. Inter Milan also interested in him. OK, so we know that Crystal Palace might be losing Marc Guéhi, their captain. They also might be losing Eberechi Eze. So what's going on with him? Well, he's been linked with a move to Tottenham. His release clause is worth around £68 million and reportedly expires on Friday. Well, Thomas Frank was asked about Spurs' pursuit of Eze today.
I think there's a lot of good players out there. There's also a few from the PSG team, but I don't think we can buy them right now. So in general, players in or players out, I'm only speaking about, either something done or not done. So in general, I speak about my own players. I think I got a good team, good squad. Of course, there's transfer window. We are definitely, in the market, and we'll do everything we can to make the best possible and strongest squad ready for the 1st of September. So there's a few things in the air, as you say, along the way.
So Carve, just Spurs after Eze?
I think Arsenal are interested in him, and he's been a long-term target for Arsenal too. I think when you've got a situation where the 2 big North London clubs are after the same player, they've both got to be even more careful than they are when it comes to trying to sign players, because they don't want to get into a situation where they get involved in a sort of bidding war, or their fans are encouraged to say, look, he signed for us, he turned you down. So they've got to be very, very sure that the player himself wants to move to them before they make any official bid. Now, if his release clause does expire on Friday, if I was a Crystal Palace fan, I would be hoping and praying that nothing happens until Friday, because if you get to a situation where that release clause has expired, then obviously that puts Palace and their chairman Steve Parish in a much stronger position, and he's got 2 years left on his contract, so they could afford to hold on to him for at least another season.
Right, hold on. Earlier in the programme, we were lauding Everton for going for it, going for Jack Grealish, getting Jack Grealish. Shouldn't one of those London clubs pay £68 million for the release clause and get Eze? James?
I think if I was in charge of a sporting director at a club like Tottenham or Arsenal, I'd be going straight after him. For Arsenal, they are prioritising sales right now because it's been a really busy window in terms of incomings. For Tottenham, I think they should be acting on this. If I was a Tottenham fan, that's one player I'd want through the door right now. They've got so many wide players right now, but in terms of number 10s, they're really lacking. Dejan Kulusevski is out for a significant period of time. James Maddison will miss the majority of the season. This is a player who's excelled so much in a Crystal Palace shirt over the course of the last few years. It's been amazing watching his development, a player who was rejected from the Millwall Academy. He went to QPR, impressed there, got the move to Crystal Palace, and we've seen him flourish, in particular over the course of the last 18 months under Oliver Glasner. He's one of the most gifted players in the Premier League. Technically, he can score goals, create goals. Jean-Philippe Mateta is very pleased to have Eberezer as a Crystal Palace player. I'm not sure how long he'll remain as a Crystal Palace player because he is just so good. They'd love to keep hold of him for another season, especially as it looks like Marc Guéhi will depart. I think it looks like that will be the case because of his contract situation. But yeah, £68 million. It feels like really good value if the club gets it done this week.
So we know Spurs, one of the clubs interested in Eza. Spurs also pursuing Savinho from Manchester City. Where are we with this one?
Well, the interest in Eza, but in terms of Savinho, there's concrete movement here because Tottenham have approached City around signing him. Talks are underway between the two clubs. City do not want to sell him. They've only had one season with him so far, and there were some really bright sparks. I know he only scored one Premier League goal, but he created a number of chances for Manchester City, and I think they do have a number of wide options there right now. Savinho can play as a number 10. I think he's better off playing on the right-hand side or the left-hand side. He's a left-footed winger who plays on the right. We see that so often nowadays with the inverted wingers. So they are in the market for a 10 and a winger. And I think Thomas Frank, if he ended the transfer window with these two players, he would be absolutely delighted because it feels like Spurs need something right now. There was a lot of positive momentum you felt at the start of the summer. Thomas Frank coming in, Mohamed Kudus, a bit of a punt, but we know what he can do. But with the injuries, Dominic Solanke, we've still not seen him so far this season. You can understand why, if they can get these two through the door, I feel like you get a bit of momentum heading into a season in the Champions League for Spurs.
Right, we're going to take a break. Now, when we come back, Gianluigi Donnarumma, wait for it, expected to leave PSG this summer. Where could he be playing next season? Much more.
Oh, stumped.
I'm just trying to be fair to the situation because I think Marc is a really good player. You know, you've seen him be an England international, seen him start at the Euros last summer, did really well for England, stepped up in the big occasions, has captained his side, his Crystal Palace side to lift the first ever major trophy. You know, he's going to go down as an icon of that football club. But best of all, he's playing week in, week out. If he goes to Liverpool, will he get that opportunity? Unless Arne Slot's potentially going to change the formation to maybe go for 3 centre-backs, I don't see it because Van Dijk and Konate are Liverpool's best two and they have a certain profile. The way that they play brings out the best overall into how Liverpool want to do things. So if Guéhi's to come in, then is he coming in as cover? You know, is he going to be essentially the way that Joe Gomez has been for Liverpool in the centre-back positions across the last few years? Well, if that's the case, then I don't think it's a good move. But then again, it's Liverpool. It's such a big draw. It's a team that are currently champions of England, a team who are going to be aspiring to win the Champions League this season and so on. But I think wherever he goes, he has to be a starter because to go to Jules' point, which is such a brilliant point, this season here is arguably one of the most important for so many players because it's before a World Cup.
Yep.
And if so many people perceive the World Cup as being the pinnacle of football itself, well, if you're not playing week in, week out, what chance do you have if your nation qualifies to play in the tournament next summer? So I think this move for Guéhi is very important. But I don't think it'll be Liverpool, to be honest.
Jules, what do you think? Because, of course, just looking at his stats, he's also still very young, too, at only 25 years old, in what is about to be the most important season for so many footballers with an eye on the World Cup. So if he goes to Liverpool, would he get enough playing time?
That's the question that nobody has the answer. Not him, not Arne Slot, not Konate, not Van Dijk. This is simple as that. Right now, he will be a sub. He will be sat on the bench, waiting for something to happen to Van Dijk or Konate. If Van Dijk and Konate are not suspended or not injured, he will play the League Cup and a bit of the FA Cup. And Marc Guéhi is too good to sit on the bench. I think we all agree. He's good enough to start for Liverpool, but right now, he's not going to start for Liverpool because Konate and Van Dijk are ahead of him. And again, to go back to our point, it's a World Cup year. He cannot afford to play 12 games in a season like this one coming up, whether it's at Liverpool or not. It doesn't work for him. So unless he's got a guarantee that they're going to move to a back three, but I'm like Nadem, I don't believe it at all, then it's risky. But I understand Crystal Palace's point of view and Steve Parrish saying, hang on, I can't let him go for free in a year's time. For a club like us, it's impossible. So it's either he extends, which he doesn't want to do, so that's not going to happen, or we sell him now. It's just that maybe Liverpool, who need a centre-back for sure, because it's only them two and Joe Gomez right now, it's not good enough. The next one is Endo or Gravenberch. They can't go on to a season like this, so Liverpool needs another centre-back, there's no doubt. But I'm not sure this is the right choice for Marc Guéhi.
But I'll tell you what we're a massive fan of. Picking apart everyone's Premier League predictions. I know it's early, and this time we can
Is
pick
this?
apart Jules's. Look at that
Is that
hair.
Jules?
Oh my
Ooh.
days.
Ooh la la.
Jules, I don't
Ooh
even
la
know
la.
when this photo was, but Jules, walk us through your Premier League predictions. You have Arsenal winning.
Yeah, I mean, this is not me on the photo. It's